cutting-edge fields are very, very important and relevant. It helps humanity to make progress and step forward. My name is Boglárka. I study computer science with AI specializations, and I'm from Hungary.
I'm Ken. I'm studying atmospheric sciences, and I'm from Japan.
My name is Daniel, and I'm studying cybersecurity, and I'm from Austria.
My name is Ibrahim. I'm studying computer science, specifically artificial intelligence, and I'm from Egypt.
My name's Linda. I'm a PhD student in electrical engineering, and I'm from Ecuador.
Ever since I was a small child, I was fascinated about the new technology from the US.
Whether it's from a big company or a new groundbreaking research finding, the US was always involved in producing cutting-edge technologies. So wanting to study cutting-edge fields in the US, it was a no-brainer.
There's a huge potential in AI and applying it in different fields of our lives. I've been doing research in applying artificial intelligence, machine learning-based tools and software to aid diagnosis and personalized medicine, ultimately.
Studying in the US has given me the freedom to choose what I want because of the breadth of options available. And for me personally, my care goes towards creatives and using AI to give them the best tools to achieve their vision.
I'm studying atmospheric sciences. I use numerical models, many different kinds of simulations to predict and quantify the change in the climate.
I'm really excited about the field of cybersecurity. That means I try to find solutions for cutting-edge cybersecurity threats in the future, preserve the consumer's privacy while innovating and developing new software.
I wanted to find universities that have a strong research center in intelligent transportation. And my favorite part about studying the US is that everyone has this mindset of doing things better and improving technology.
In my opinion, the US is the best place to study cutting-edge fields because you have this hub of innovation that produces the technology we're going to use today and in the future.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our today's session. Thank you so much for being today with us. We are here with another interesting webinar. And first of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Alina Yakubova. I am an Education USA advisor, and here is Education USA Virtual with you. So we are here to provide you monthly webinars about useful topics that you can implement for your research and for your applications for studies in the US. And this month, we have dedicated specifically to the research process, to the application process for studies in the US. You can see our agenda on our website. You can see more information on our social media page. So please feel free to address us questions or concerns in case if you have them. But today specifically, we're going to talk about the AP exam, the Advanced Placement exam, and the BigFuture App. And we have Matthew, a speaker that we've had for our last webinar about SAT. And Matthew is from College Board. So Matthew, I'll give you the floor. You can introduce yourself once again. We'll have one more interesting webinar with Matthew for this week about CSS profile. So I'm also very excited about that one. But today, as I've said, we're going to concentrate on another topic about Advanced Placement exam and BigFuture App. So guys, enjoy that. Address questions during this webinar. At the end, we're going to respond them. We'll also allow time to respond those questions that we've got when you pre-registered for this event. So I really hope it's going to be really interesting. Okay, Matthew, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm giving you the floor.
Thanks, Alina. I'm happy to be back. The reason why I'm back and why I'm keeping on these webinars is that College Board does a lot of different things and a lot of things that are important for American higher education. So that's why you see a lot of me. But let me start a little bit, just again, talking about who College Board is. We're a nonprofit organization based originally in the United States, but increasingly becoming an international organization that has thousands and thousands of schools that are part of it and millions of students like you who are also involved. So we get a lot of feedback from our members, and we're always working to make more opportunities for students like you around the world. And I said that we're becoming a more international organization. That's definitely true. You can now take the SAT in over 2,000 test centers in 178 different countries and territories. So almost anywhere that you are in the world, you can go and take a test. You can go and take an SAT test. And as well, AP exams, which are the final step of taking an AP course, which is another one of the big things that we do at College Board. And students were able to do that in 138 countries and territories around the world this last year. So we are in many places doing many things, and all of them are really, really important for higher education opportunities. Oops, sorry. This is me. I'm Matthew Chovanec, and I work for Southwest Asia and North Africa at the College Board. So that includes parts of Eastern Europe and even Eurasia. So that's why I'm here today, sharing information with you guys. And today we're going to talk about AP courses, but I want to just kind of give us a big idea about where this all comes into. I'm sure Alina and everyone else at Education USA is helping you understand all of the pieces that are on this diagram, but the ones that I want to highlight are the green one and the red one. So when you apply to a college in the United States, you need to show the university a lot of different things. Who you are, what school you went to, which classes you took. These are all these different aspects. And you even need to write essays about who you are and maybe even get a little bit personal about what's important to you, what are your values, what has it been like living in your shoes your entire life. But there are two aspects of this that are very, very important. In the red is the standardized test. So this is the SAT test that you'll take. I spoke about it just a couple weeks at another webinar put together by Education USA. And that's basically a way for a university to see that the grades you got in school are the same as the grades anywhere else. So sort of a universal way of comparing your performance in high school to everyone else around the world using one standard test, and that's the SAT. But not only do you need to have done well in school, if you want to go to a competitive university in the United States, you also need to show above and beyond that you did extra work and that you are one of the smartest students and that you have taken every opportunity to challenge yourself. And that's where advanced coursework comes in, like the AP program. AP program is a series of courses that you can take in high school that are at the college level. And if you pass the exam at the end of the course, you can actually not only use it to get into college, but you can use it to get out of certain classes that you may have had to take in your first year or your foundation year. So it's not only important to be competitive as a student, but it's also important to set you up for success once you get to college. So that's why we're going to talk about this a little bit today. So what is the AP program? AP is a series of 40 different university level courses that students can take in high school. And they are basically a full year course. Oftentimes you'll actually take it in your school. Your school will offer an AP course alongside the other subjects that it teaches. So for example, you could either take regular English in the 11th grade, or you could take AP English Language and Composition, which is kind of like an honors class or an extra level of difficulty class that would be during the school day. After you take that course for the entire year, in May, you would sit down and take a test for about 3 hours that basically tests your knowledge in everything that you had learned that year. And we score those tests from all around the world. We bring them together and grade them in one place over the summer. And so everyone who takes an AP course everywhere around the world also receives a same standardized score. So whether your school was more difficult or more easy, none of that matters. What matters is the universal score that you're going to get on a score of 1 to 5 at the end of the year. And if you get a 3 or a 4 or a 5, that is what we consider to be a qualifying score, which means many universities will accept that as you having passed the college course. These courses really help students on applications worldwide. If you're thinking about applying to a prestigious or a selective college in the United States, you should definitely have advanced coursework, whether it's the AP program or the IB or something from the British curriculum. It's really important that you show that you've gone above and beyond. And the reason why is because students from all over the world are going to be doing the same thing. They are also going to be applying for these selective universities, and they're also going to have taken AP courses, which means in order to be competitive with them, you need to be playing the same game. But once you get into these universities, it's not only a help that you take these AP courses to get in, it'll also help you get credit or skip courses. So when I went to university in the United States, I had several different AP courses that I was able to use to basically get an entire semester of college off that I didn't have to take. It was basically all given to me as credit. And that's because I had gotten a qualifying score on my AP exams, and then they had counted that as me having taken introductory classes. So like I said, these are a couple of just things to remember. There are 40 courses. I'm going to show you which these 40 courses are. There's a lot of really interesting different topics that you can take, and it's really a nice opportunity to explore new interests or things that you love or things that maybe you just want to learn more about. They score, like I said, the exams take place every May, and you get a score from a 1 to 5. At a 3 and above is a qualifying score, so that would be like a passing grade. Most colleges do grant credit, especially in the United States. I'll show you exactly how you can look this up, but basically almost every single university in the United States is going to have some sort of policy, some sort of way of accepting your AP courses that you've taken. And regardless of everything else, taking an AP course when you're in high school is one of the best ways to make sure that you are ready for college. College is not easy. It can be a big transition, and it can be something that requires a lot of your time and effort. And so having done that ahead of time, where you are actually taking college classes in high school, can help make sure that you're more ready so that college isn't so much of a challenge, so much of a transition when you get in. And that's a huge part of what makes AP courses so great. Now, let's see, I try to hide some of these slides, but some of these are being a little bit goofy this morning. Here again, these are all the countries that you can take it in. So I'm seeing here most of the Caucasus. If you live in Georgia or Armenia or Azerbaijan, you can take AP exams. I've actually visited AP schools in Azerbaijan. Most places in Eastern Europe, you can take it. You can take these courses all over the place. And the reason why these AP courses are great is because we actually create these courses with the help of university professors. And so we ask university professors every few years, what are the things that a student needs to learn if they want to be successful in their first year of college, taking, for example, a biology course? And they give us the feedback, and high school teachers and college professors work together to create this exam that is a single standard, that's trusted, that is graded by professionals, so that universities all around the world can trust when you give them a score of a 4 or a 5, that you know your stuff and that you are ready to pass out of that first level course in college. Sorry, some of these slides that I had, they were supposed to be deleted. Supposed to be hidden. So again, the other part of this is saving time and money at university. When you do not have to take Biology 101, or you do not have to take English Language 101 at a university in the United States, that is a class that you get to save all of the money for that you would have taken, but you also save a lot of time. One of the things that was most important for me when I went to the university was that I got to explore other courses. I got to take more advanced coursework and explore higher level honors classes and even graduate level classes when I was still an undergrad. And the reason why I was able to do that was because I had taken these foundational courses already when I was in high school. So I had more time to explore higher level things, which might not seem like the most top of your mind now that you're applying for colleges. But once you get there, it's going to be a fantastic place to explore. And you are going to want to really see new things and not just be stuck in a bunch of remedial courses. So it's another huge part of what makes the AP courses so exciting for students applying to university. And if you're a parent, which there's also all this aspect of just the money and the credit hours, an entire semester that you as a parent don't have to pay for, or if you are a student and you're also helping to fund your education in the United States, which can be quite pricey, this is another thing that you don't have to think about or pay for. So that's a really, really nice example for it. Here are the 40 courses, and they're basically broken down by subject. So we have the capstone program, which is like about research and about learning skills for evidence-based argumentation, really fundamental skills for college stuff. That's there on the left. We have a series of art courses, both where you create art and then where you study the history of art. We have English language and English literature. We have history and social sciences, everything from economics to human geography to African American studies, our brand newest course, a very exciting course where you learn all about not only history, but culture and philosophy and theory. In the middle, we have math and computer science. These are very fundamental. If you do nothing else, it would behoove you, if you are interested in studying science or one of the STEM careers in college, to take Calculus AB. This is the first course that we ever offered. It's very, very fundamental, and it's accepted by almost every university in the United States. And almost every university in the United States that's going to require a science degree will require you to take calculus, so you might as well get it out of the way in high school. And then lastly, on the right, we have all kinds of science courses, both biology, chemistry, physics. Okay. And then last but not least, we have many world languages. Unfortunately, many of the languages that I care very deeply about are not represented. Languages that are very popular, for example, Portuguese, Russian, Arabic, not available. I think that's sad, and I think that speaks a lot to the fact that Americans are not very good at foreign languages, but we do have Chinese, French, Spanish, and Japanese. So if you are thinking about taking an AP course in order to help you with your application for university, here are a couple things to think about. First of all, think about what's available at your school. Does your school already have an AP program? Maybe they offer chemistry. Maybe they offer calculus. That will make it very easy for you. You can just enroll in the course as an option. You can ask your school about what they require in order for you to join that course. You can also think about your own strengths and interests. Maybe you want to study art or graphic design when you come to the United States. Well, it may behoove you to want to study art history or 2D design. These are things that you specifically, rather than it being something that the school offers, it's something that you really want to explore on your path to picking your major in college. You can also think about your future goals. So a lot of courses are really specifically tied to careers, and I'll show you a couple examples of this in a second. But you can also, if you know that you want to be an engineer, you know that you want to be an architect, well, I can tell you right now, there are some AP courses that are specifically designed for you that'll really help you. You can also use our website to look at many of the different paths and planning for AP courses. And then lastly, you can talk to your high school counselor. Many schools don't offer AP courses, but they may be a school in your city does. It may be the case that you would study for an AP exam all by yourself. You would self-study and you would take the exam only. That's totally fine. And that's something that many, many international students do. All you need to do is just look at our website and you find a place that tests for AP exams, ask them, and they should be able to allow you to sit for their exam in May. So that if you live, for example, in Kiev, and you don't go to a school that offers an AP program, there are some other schools in Kiev that do offer AP exams, and you could potentially go and sit there for it. Again, sorry, these are more slides that I had for Saudi Arabia, not for you guys. I meant to hide them. I apologize. Here are also some very popular courses by grade. So there are courses available for students in the 10th grade, 11th grade, and 12th grade, and students all over the world are very oftentimes taking these courses in similar grades. So if you were thinking about taking AP biology or AP physics, a good time to start thinking about doing that would be in the 11th grade. Similarly, calculus is usually something that students wait for until their 12th grade because it is a very challenging math course. Maybe not for you. Maybe you want to take it a little bit earlier, but that's what a lot of different students do. I had mentioned about careers and majors. So sometimes you can kind of work backwards. If you know that you want to, that there's a certain career path that you're interested in, you can actually pick AP courses that help you prepare for that. So for example, if you were interested in being a financial analyst working in business, here are 4 courses that would be really good starting place for you. AP Statistics, AP Pre-Calculus, AP US Government and Politics, of course, if you were interested in studying and working in the United States, and lastly, Macroeconomics. If you want to be an engineer, AP Calculus is absolutely fundamental. So is AP Physics, Mechanics, and AP Environmental Science. Maybe you guys can kind of see here how this works. Like I said before, if you want to be a designer, AP Psychology to help you get insights about human behaviors, desires, things like that. Computer Science Principles to give you a foundation in computer design and programming. And then, of course, AP Art and Design to learn the fundamentals of design. If you want to be an architect, it's kind of a mix of both art and math. So that's why both calculus and pre-calculus would go well alongside 2D art and 3D art. Now, if you have specific universities in mind, I highly recommend that you take a look at their credit policy, because every university is different. What they will accept, what they're looking for in terms of AP courses is going to be different. But that's okay, because we've got lots and lots of information for you for free on our website, and it can actually help you plan your application process. So you go here to AP Credit Policy Search. You can just find this on Google and type in a university that you're interested in applying to. So for example, I chose the University of Texas at Austin, a wonderful school, a very large school, and they accept all kinds of AP courses. If you look at it and you scroll down, you will be able to see every single one of the AP courses that we offer with the score that they require. So if they're going to give you credit for it or they're going to accept it, you need to at least get a 3, a 4, or sometimes in the case of Calculus BC, a 5. That's what that left row is. In the middle there, you see the number of credits. This is the number of hours, that you can get, that they will give you credit for, that you do not have to take. So for example, if you take AP Biology and you get a 5 on it, that's 6 hours or 2 whole classes that you will get out of the way. And then on the right side here, you can see exactly which course this corresponds to. So if you came in with really good grades on a series of these AP exams, it is quite possible you would get an entire semester of college for free. It would also be a huge part of your application process, being an attractive student for the university and also hoping to get financial aid. I'll tell you that students across the board applying to the University of Texas at Austin are taking advantage of this. Many, if not all of them, are applying for university with AP courses under their belt. There's also an important element of using AP courses as a way to explore your interests. Oftentimes, when we get to universities, we want to learn more about the world around us. We want to take courses in philosophy, in history, in sociology. Well, you can also do that in high school by exploring some of the interesting courses that we offer. You can, for example, like me, take economics when you're in high school to figure out what micro and macroeconomics is all about. And guess what I found out when I took these 2 courses? I was not really interested in it. But that was 2 courses that I didn't have to take in college. So I found out that I was not interested in economics way ahead of time, even before I'd gotten to college. So this is a way for you to explore things that you love and also things that maybe are less interesting than you first thought. So here's just 3 random courses that I picked that I think are all very, very interesting for something that you to keep in mind as the thing to explore when you are going to think about these AP courses. The first is psychology, which is all about social influence, behaviors, what makes a human being tick? What is it that they desire? What is it that creates their belief systems? Why do people think the way that they do? These are all very, very fundamental questions about what it means to be human, and we explore these in a very interesting and scientific way through AP Psychology. AP Environmental Science, of course, we live in an era of climate change. We live in an era in which there are enormous environmental challenges. There are a lot of problems with pollution, with the loss of biodiversity, and if we are going to survive as a species, we need to learn how to better treat Mother Earth. And that's what this course is all about. It's about applying scientific principles, engineering principles to face global community challenges to address global community collaboration to address environmental challenges. I think this is an excellent course. I wish that it had been available when I was in high school. I would have definitely taken it. And then lastly, a course that is really near and dear to my heart as a music lover, AP Music Theory. Everybody can listen to music and enjoy it, but if you know how it's actually put together and what are the principles at work, it'll make your appreciation of music that much deeper. If you know that a song uses the Mixolydian mode, if you know that a song is in the minor key but uses some very tasteful suspended chords, that'll all really deepen your appreciation. And AP Music Theory is a course designed to do exactly that. Having you listen to music from all around the world, you'll learn how to read music, musical scores. You will look at how music is written, and you will come out of the course being a really deep appreciator of music. Very, very cool course. not only for those who are interested in careers in music or sound, but just for being a human being and enjoying art in this world is a fascinating thing to explore. And lastly, when I'm talking about my AP here, I'm just going to talk about the value of one, which is the value of taking just one course. Even that will have a benefit to you. So again, no matter your score, it's really important that you show to a university that you have challenged yourself, that you have gone above and beyond and worked extra hard to try to prove yourself in your applications. So that standing up to college is one of the most important parts. Secondly, you can boost your GPA. A lot of schools that offer AP courses will actually give you extra points on your GPA for having completed the AP course. And also you will graduate on time. So when you are in college, you are going to do better. Our research shows that students who take AP courses are more successful in college, get better grades, and so have a more easier time getting through college, and oftentimes will graduate sooner and will graduate on time. We'll graduate at all. So that's a hugely important part. Not only do you want to go to college, you want to finish college. Lastly, thirdly, you want to save money. We've talked about this a lot. It's really, really great that you can get all these foundational courses out of the way. You can either not take any class and you can graduate early, or you can use that free time to explore more of your interests, study abroad, do more internships and volunteering and extracurricular activities. The time is yours. And then lastly, making time to focus on your interests. Like I said, it was really great to be able to take graduate level courses when I was an undergrad because I was a brainiac who loved studying, and I didn't want to just be in a bunch of year one courses with hundreds of other students learning rudimentary things. It really allowed me the opportunity to flourish and to focus on different things. So those are the values of just taking one course. You don't even have to pass. Even if you got a 1 or a 2 on the course, there's still benefit to it. It's still a great introduction to college classes. It's a great way to know what college is all about, and also to just get an introduction to some of the topics that you will be studying in the future, or maybe ones that you've discovered that you don't like at all. And maybe that's the reason why you didn't get a passing grade. So there's that. And now I want to talk a little bit about Big Future. So now, because you are here at the Education USA and you're thinking about studying at schools in the United States, it's really important to get a good idea about what is available in the United States so that you're not just applying willy-nilly, but that you have a really clear idea in your mind about what those universities are. So we created this tool. It's called College Search. And it is, you can see if you go to Big Future, if you just search for Big Future College Board on our website, you can see this tool right here. And it has these really great profiles of specific universities that are going to tell you so much detail about the university. So we have here Northeastern University pulled up, and it has all this information, a really nice overview of what the university is about. Where is it located? Does it have Greek life? Does it have sports? How big is its research facilities? Does it have a library? Just like a general idea of what the university is like, because that stuff is actually really, really important. Admissions, they're going to tell you exactly what are the things that you need to get in. So for example, if you're applying to Northeastern University in Boston and you look down here, SAT or ACT scores, they are considered if submitted, which, reading between the lines, if you take the SAT test and your score is as good as your grades were, or is even better than your grades were, which is the case for 90% of international students, you should definitely submit them. And they'll actually tell you what is considered to be a competitive score. What is the 50% middle row of students, and what are the scores that they get on their exams? It'll also show you, so you can see here, the SAT range for Northeastern University is 1460 to 1530, which means the middle 50% of students who apply to Northeastern University, actually are those who get in, are scoring in that range. It's very high. So it's right off the bat, you should know if you have taken a practice SAT test and your score is far below that, then you're going to need to have other aspects of your application that are really exciting for the admissions office to overcome the fact that your SAT score is lower. One of the things that can overcome that SAT score would be your AP courses. So you can also see under academics, AP credit policy. And you can see, like we looked at before, what's the score that you need required to get credit? How much credit will you get? And which course are you going to be able to get out of the way? So all this information that I've talked about is here in a really, really nice, digestible way that you can search for your universities. And there are some other nice aspects too. We made this specifically for students like you. We put it on the telephone. So there is a really nice college search function, 2,400 different colleges, and 1,600 two-year and certificate programs. If you want to study, if you want to search for universities in the United States, this is a fantastic place to start. It's really nice and really easy to use on your phone. You can also plan your checklist. It's basically a one-stop shop for everything it is that you want to do for studying in the United States. This is a really great tool. It's all free, and you can actually offer to be connected with universities, and they'll actually reach out to you specifically based on how you do on the SAT or PSAT test. So this is a way in which students can get a lot more interest and connection to universities and be a lot more successful when they're applying. And with that, I'm happy to show you guys exactly what it looks like, but these are all the slides that I have, and I want to make sure that we have plenty of time to answer questions. So I will stop my presentation there.
Thank you so much, Matthew. I think everything looked really, really nice and interesting. I also have some questions from me, but I think we also got some of them from our audience that we have now. Okay, so we will start with those questions that we received before the start of this webinar for the students that have pre-registered, and then we'll allow time to answer the questions that we've got live. Okay. So one of the first question, how can we register and is it possible for 11th grade to take the AP exam? Will it be too late?
So it's not too late. Like I showed a little bit earlier, there are plenty of different places where you can search for. I'm going to pull up something right now to show you exactly what goes right, how this works. Search for school that offers AP. Students are more than welcome to take AP courses in the 11th grade. In fact, many of the courses are offered specifically for 11th graders. If they don't offer it in your school, I'm going to show you now exactly. Sorry, one second. I'm going to share my screen and show you exactly what this looks like. Okay. Yes, here we go. So if you just go to Google and you say search for school that offers AP, we have a whole website that will show you all of the schools in your region that do offer these courses and where you can sign up. And you can search by location too. So let's say, for example, we are in Georgia, and we want to look for university or for schools locally that will accept you in order to take AP exams. So in the country of Georgia, you can see here there are 4 different schools. It looks like 2 of them or 3 of them are in Tbilisi, and then 1 of them is in Kutaisi. So you could reach out to this school and say, hey, I want to take calculus AB. Could I please come and sit and take the exam with you? If you wanted to take it in the 11th grade, that would be totally fine. It's kind of up to you when you want to take it. We have recommendations of when students should be taking these AP courses, but you'll know the best. And there's places when you get a understanding of what's on the course and you maybe take a practice quiz or something like that, you'll get a sense if you are ready to actually take it in the 11th grade.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. The next question, if I graduate with high IB score, will AP improve my chances to be admitted and get scholarships?
So many students have a lot of questions about IB versus AP program. IB program is a wonderful program that has a series of courses that you have to take. They all kind of work together. It's a whole system that you take together. Maybe you have a concentration and you're hoping to actually graduate with like a DP, like a diploma in the specific subjects that you have with good grades. If you do that and you graduate, you don't really need to have any AP courses. That's not really going to add a lot to your competitiveness. A lot of students do fantastic just taking IB, and you shouldn't have to worry about AP at all. If you were in an IB program, there are still students who do take AP courses, and the reason that they do is usually actually because there's one specific subject area that wasn't offered by their IB program or that they couldn't take because they already had all of their courses spoken for, but they need it just part of their application. So for example, let's say a student was doing kind of one of the more science or STEM tracks in the IB program, but they're applying to a university in the Netherlands. And the Netherlands says, hey, if you want to get into this program, you need to have some sort of course showing that your college level work in psychology. But that wasn't part of their track for the DP program. And so they just sit for the AP psychology exam on the side, kind of a la carte, where they just choose that one option separately, and they can take that, they can get a score. And then so alongside their DP diploma, they also have this one course they did well on in the subject that the school needed. That would be the case that you would take AP in addition to IB.
Okay, great. And I think in Eastern Europe, for example, most of them, they would get the IB exam and the AP exam. Yeah, that definitely can be optional, and it's not mandatory for those students who would get the IB exam. Okay, the next questions. Are HL subjects in IB program the same as AP? Is AP valued more? Is there a reason to get more HL subjects?
I would again say that this depends on the university, and each university will be really clear about what they consider to be college level work and what grade it is they're requiring on it. So there are some universities, prestigious universities, that want you to take AP courses and they want you to get a 5 on it, but they're not going to give you any credit. It's something that you absolutely need. Those universities will also tell you what they think of HL courses in the IB program. Maybe they accept it, maybe they don't. Some universities are different about how they grade IB versus AP. A lot of them are a little bit different. On the whole, they're often seen as kind of complementary. They both work together. But for the specific answer that you want, I would check with the university and see what they're asking for scores for each one of those different programs.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. And now we'll focus on the questions that we've got during this live. So the first one is, the courses also teach us about writing essays, reading skills, or they are just only for science?
Great. Nazreen, I really like this question, and I will say that we have lots of courses that are specifically for learning those skills, like presenting on a topic in front of an audience, writing skills so that you're writing complex argumentative essays that are evidence-based, writing really, really detailed research papers. We have STEM, science and math on one side, but then we have a whole series of courses that are both social studies, things like history courses or world geography, but then also English language, English literature, and then a series of courses specifically just on learning how to write argumentative essays and do research projects, and that's called seminar and research. And those are 2 courses that you would need to actually take in a school, because the teacher has to actually teach it, because it's not about content, it's more about skills, and that's something that you have to learn both working in a group, but also from a specific teacher. But those are excellent courses specifically for what it is that you're looking for, how to become a great reader, how to become a critical reader, and how to become an effective and argumentative writer as well.
Okay, thank you, Matthew. The next question also comes from Nazreen. What do academic range mean? Does it have an effect to university reputation?
Academic range. I'm not entirely sure which they're referring to there. Do you know, Alina, maybe what that specifically is referring to, academic range?
I think that was specified in presentation, so maybe that's why Nazreen is also a bit confused. So
you know what? It's probably from this slide. I'm going to pull it up. Give me 1 second. I think I know actually what they're referring to. Dun, dun, dun. Where did it go? Sorry, 1 second.
Sure, no problem. I think that depends on the context. So if you use that in presentation, that would definitely make more sense to the person to understand what is that about.
Academic range. So yeah, so academic range is like, have you taken courses in a lot of different topics, I would think. Are you strong in both the math and sciences as well as in the English and things like that? It really depends, but sometimes if you're applying for a specific subject, they'll actually even tell you, like, on your SAT test, if you want to get into the engineering program, you need to get a 750, but the English part, you only need to get like a 500 or a 600. Whereas some schools where you're applying as a student overall, you need to be excellent all around. And to be honest, most universities in the United States, especially competitive ones, want students who are good at everything and who do have academic range and who have excelled in a number of different topics. That being said, everything that you do, you should do well, but you can also not try to be the best at everything. And you can really, especially with AP program, specialize in those subjects that you're strong at. So when I was applying for university, it was no surprise that math and science was not my strong suit. But that's okay, because I was a pretty good student, nothing actually problematic. But where I really did well at and where I really excelled and was able to really put the best part of my application forward was on like languages and on literature. And I really emphasized that in my application, and that's something that you may want to do as well. So be good at everything, but when you really excel stuff, make sure that you're concentrating and focusing, and making it clear to the university that you have a specific goal in mind of what it is that you want to study, and that you're not just coming to university with no plan or no interest.
I think that's also a part of the holistic admission principle that the universities are also using. So yeah, they are analyzing your application as a whole, not only parts. So yeah, thank you, Matthew. The next question is from Elena. Can I submit an AP drawing exam using coordinator's code without taking accredited course with teachers and an international student?
You can. There may be a good reason for you wanting to do that, but usually I really do recommend that a student take, if at all possible, the AP drawing course with an art teacher in a school. The teacher's really going to help you focus, give you feedback, things like that. Sometimes students will not be based at a school, but they will work with an outside workshop, or they'll work with an art teacher who, maybe works as like a tutor. And that can actually be really problematic. And we've actually had this happen in the case that students from different schools had worked with the same tutor or the same kind of artist, and we actually canceled their scores because for us it seemed as though the students were plagiarizing, because we could see the influence of that one teacher on several different students. So if you are going to do things alone, you are going to be at a disadvantage because you won't have feedback. But I would also not recommend that you work with an outside tutor, because that could also really affect your score. So it can be a little bit tricky. And if at all possible, I would, Elena, try my best to find someone who would actually be your teacher in a school for drawing.
Thank you. And then the next and the last one question, also from Nazrin. Is AP exam like a practice test where we can apply to university with its results?
So you can apply for its results. This is definitely a serious course, a serious test that you're taking that gives you an actual score. That score is really important because it's what a university is using, not only to see how good you are as a student, but to actually give you credit for courses that you would place out of. And so it's really important that score be serious and valid. And so we take it really seriously. We put a lot of work into it. It is exactly like basically taking the final exam in a university course. So you would sign up for it, you would take this exam at the end of the year, and then your score would be a real deal score that you would share with universities. And so it wouldn't just be a practice, it would be something that would be very, very serious.
Okay, great. Thank you, Matthew. And I think one of the questions that would come from me, that would be the last one. So you've explained in details how the students can get this exam and where they can look for and what courses they exactly provide. I was wondering also about pricing, because I couldn't see exactly how the students should pay, or what the students should consider when taking those courses. How much would that cost? Because I mean, you've specified that you can save money having these courses, but what exactly you mean by that, and how much would that be?
So you have to basically, whoever it is, whatever school is going to accept you is basically, they're going to charge you for the test, and then and then we charge them. So to be totally clear about this, we charge the school $128 for your exam. But the school might charge you something else, because they might be charging extra money for having a teacher be there on the day that you're taking the test. You may be enrolled in the course, and so they're having a teacher teach it all year long. There's extra courses. So it's probably not going to be $128 for you as a student. It may be a little bit more. Exactly how much more, I'm not really sure. But in no case, almost anywhere in the world, would a AP exam that you took and that you passed be more expensive than the course that you would have had to take in university. So sometimes a university course can be $2,000, or it can be $10,000 for an international course. If you think about some universities in the United States, they can be $80,000 a year. So you divide that by 10 courses, that's, $8,000 per course. Did I do that right? I'm terrible at math. Yes, $8,000 per course. So again, in the long run, you're saving money, because these exams are going to cost you something like $150 per each, depending on the school that it is that you're applying to.
Okay, great. Sounds great. Thank you so much, Matthew. Everything was super useful and everything was super interesting. I really hope that the students would get more in depth to analyze this subject in case if they are interested to take the AP exam. And thank you for the BigFuture app, because that's one of the apps that the students are constantly using. And we as Education USA, we are definitely explaining them how they can use this tool, because that's a very important tool, and you've specified on how many universities and colleges and high schools you can get information on using this app. So thank you guys also for being with us today. Thank you, Matthew, for this awesome presentation. We are very excited for our next webinar this Thursday about CSS Profile, one of the most challenging app, I would say. And so guys, prepare your questions. I already saw that there are many of them, but we are encouraging as many of you as possible to participate in this webinar. I'm more than sure that Matthew will offer us a lot of interesting details, and we'll find out more interesting information for international students that would apply via this app.
I'll be ready. I'm excited for it.
Sure. Thank you once again. Thank you, guys. I wish you a great week, and see you on Thursday.